episode number 23 of Straight Fire Picks, June 18th, 2021. We got 9 new picks for you here today. 5 of our normal, where I provide analysis, and 4 on the quickfire round, where we just rip them right off. Alright, so the first thing we do, we're going to go over our results from last episode. We're going to see how we did. So, last episode total, guys, I went 5-4 in our 9 picks. 3-2 on our normal picks, and 2-2 in the quickfire round. So, summarizing that, let's go down the line here. Number 1, my number 1 pick, I had under 219.5 points in the Nets-Bucks game, minus 110 odds. Main points I was making there was Nets coming into the game hobbled, looking to slow the pace of the game down. They did. The game was played, and the Nets only scored 92 points, I believe, or 89. Yeah, 104-89 in the final. So, yeah, Nets only put up 89 points. Bucks scored 104. So very low scoring game, particularly in the second half. Not a lot of scoring in the third quarter. I think there was 38 points in the third quarter. So 104-89 in the final. We hit on that pretty easily. That led me right into my second pick, which was the Nets plus 5.5 spread versus the Bucks minus 108. This one did not come in. Nets came in. They played a pretty close game most of the way through. It was 82-77 in the fourth quarter. So we were in the money there in the fourth quarter. Then the Bucks went on a 14 or a 16-0 run to really close it out there. So Nets did not finish the game well. They were close. They did play pretty tough most of the way, like I kind of was thinking that they would, but let it go there in the fourth. All right, so then number 3, I have the New York Islanders money line versus the Tampa Bay Lightning plus 118. This one also did not come in. So these are my 2 losses here. Islanders tied the game at 1 in the second period and then gave it right back about a minute later. Ended up losing the game 2-1. No goals in the third period. So Islanders could not pull through there. Ended up losing 2-1. I think they will definitely respond though in game 4. I'd be surprised if they don't. Number 4, I had over 7 runs in the Giants-Diamondbacks game, minus 110. Well, we had 13. So got that pretty easily. No real doubt there. I just pinched my finger. No doubter there. Giants coming in as a pretty good team. I figured the Giants would definitely score on, I believe his name was Gallen. He did have an ERA of like 3.04. He wasn't pitching bad or anything, but Giants have had a really good unit this year. I expected them to go in there and win pretty convincingly. Gossman, the pitcher for the Giants, as their ace, came in, pitched very well. They give up a couple runs, but nothing crazy. Ended up being 10-3 the final. Giants won pretty easily there. So, like I said, anytime you see 7 runs for an over-under, it's kind of hard not to at least look into taking it. You want to see who's pitching and everything. As long as they're not dominant pitchers, that's usually a bet that I like. So, then number 5, we had the Yankees money line versus the Blue Jays minus 110. We had Zook on the mound for the Blue Jays, 0-2, 6.75 versus King, 0-3 with a 3.77 ERA. Okay, so early on in this game, I thought my prediction was going to be spot on. The Yankees did end up winning, by the way. My prediction was that Zook was going to get let up, and he had the bases loaded. The Yankees already had 1 across with 1 out, and Yankees didn't push enough runs across there. They had a chance to really break the game open early. Yankees did lead 3-0 early. Blue Jays bounced back, ended up taking a 4-3 lead. Then the Yankees scored the last 5 runs of the game to win 8-4. Giancarlo Stanton hit a 2-run homer, I believe it was in the 7th inning, to give the Yankees lead for good, 5-4, and then they piled on 3 runs after that. So 8-4 the final there. We did hit on that, Yankees money line. And then in the quickfire round, we had the Mets money line versus the Cubs. That did not hit. 2-0 the final. Cubs won. We had the Astros money line versus the White Sox. That did hit. Astros won that game pretty convincingly. And then we had Blake Griffin over 5.5 rebounds, minus 106 odds. That hit just barely. He got 6 rebounds. And I had Jeff Green over 13.5 points, minus 110 odds. That did not hit. So 2-2 on that for a total of 5-4. Okay, so that's our results from last episode. Now going into our new picks here for tonight, June 18th, 2021. Number one, I got over 221.5 points in the Hawks 76ers game. Guys, the Atlanta Hawks are going to shoot the ball better from three this game. They're going to shoot the ball better in the first quarter. I'm convinced. They cannot come out and play the way that they did in Philly. Just shot the ball awful in the first quarter. In fact, and the second quarter, and the third quarter. They just did not shoot the ball good at all. They waited until the fourth to find their magic. But I definitely think the Hawks at home shoot the ball better from three at least. I definitely expect there to be a lot more points. So take over 221.5 there. Again, and 76ers with the backs against the wall. You know, look for Embiid to play great. Hawks, look for the role players to play great. That's my call for that game. Pay attention to that. Kevin Huerter, Lou Williams, Danilo Gallinari. Any player prop bets on those guys I'd be looking at. Just because I think in a game 6 like this, role players are going to be huge. And I think they play well. Number 2, I got the Hawks money line versus the 76ers plus 122. Momentum. Guys, the last 2 games, the 76ers blew big leads in both. Capped most recently by a 26-point collapse in Game 5 at home in Philly. That just spells a recipe for disaster for the 76ers in Game 6. I think outside of Embiid, I think the Sixers are going to have a very hard time getting going. That's just so defeating to lose a game the way they did the other night. It was so surprising. So look for the Hawks to win there. Plus 122. You're getting good odds there, I think. Number 3, I got the Los Angeles Clippers money line versus the Jazz plus 100. Same type of idea here, guys. I'm rolling with the same idea for both these games. Role players are going to crush it in both these games for the home team to close out the series. Role players at home, don't undervalue that. That's all I could say. So again, look at player props for the role players. Look at taking the overs in those. I have a couple for you in the quick fire round that I'll go over. But yeah, take the Clippers money line, rolling off all that momentum from Game 5. Won it without Kawhi. I had no reason not to think they can't do it again in Game 6. Paul George, look for him to play good, and those role players again. Look for Reggie Jackson and Batum, Marcus Morris, all those guys to play well. Number 4, I got over 5.5 goals in the Knights Canadiens game plus 122. I've bet this now the first 2 games, and it should have hit really in both games. The fact that it didn't was kind of incredible. Cost me a lot of money. But I think ultimately what happens here, guys, is the Golden Knights will wake up in Montreal. They're going to score some goals. It's a matter of can the Canadiens keep up with them. I don't know. I'm not taking a result for that game. I think I want the Canadiens to win, but I think the Knights will probably win, to be honest with you. But you're not getting good enough odds to do a coin flip on that game. Minus 160 for the Knights, I'm not taking it. Over 5.5 goals, though, I think we'll see that. Plus 122. Whether it be the Canadiens scoring or the Knights scoring, I think you'll see goals. All right, number 5, I got over 9 runs in the Mets-Nationals game. We got Lucchesi on the mound for the Mets. That's about all I need to say about that. He's been pretty bad this year. I think you will see over 9 runs in this game. Mets coming off a shutout. I think the bats wake up there in Washington, traveling down to Washington. We'll see over 9 runs in that game, I believe. Okay, so for in the quickfire round, we got, again, sticking to the idea of role players, and again, look at the bets that are available to you. I wasn't able to view all of them. That I'll be able to view later, but I'll give you a brief run through. Kevin Huerter, 3 made threes plus 235. I'm going aggressive here. I think he plays well in Game 6 at home. Great role player here. He's gonna play well, I think, at home. Same thing for my number 2 pick in the quickfire. Clint Capella, over 10.5 points, minus 122. Look for that to hit as well. Capella will play well. Batum, over 9.5 points for the Clippers in that game. against the Jazz, minus 112. And then Reggie Jackson, 3 threes, minus 144. So look for all those to come in. Okay, guys, that is going to do it for me. Again, last point on that, look at your player props for both those NBA games tonight. Look at your role players. Look at taking role players on the overs. Expect the role players to play well at home and close out games. I just believe that's going to happen. So look for that to happen. Give me your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the content today, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Other than that, that's going to do it for me. You all have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. Peace.